One team made a coaching change 3 games into the regular season, and boy, has it worked. Will the magic be there again tonight? Find out next as the Major Arena Soccer League presents the Florida Tropics as they host the Dallas Sidekicks. Hi again, everybody, and welcome on into the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida. Thanks for choosing to spend a little bit of your day with us here for some professional indoor soccer between two very hot teams. The Dallas Sidekicks started the season 0-3. They fired their coach. They brought in a former Sidekicks player, Ricardinho, and my goodness, they have gone 5-1 in the 6 games since the coaching change, and that includes wins over teams like Milwaukee and Baltimore. So they're not just beating up people, they are beating some very good teams, and we'll see how that plays out tonight. The Tropics, they sit atop the Eastern Division with a 7-1 mark. They too 5-1 in their last 6 games. The difference is that one loss came 6 games ago, the home opener against Ontario here December 18th. Since then, the Tropics have run the table 5-0, 7-1 overall, with 21 points, tied with Kansas City for the best record and most points in the MASL. The Tropics coming in off a big weekend sweep of the Harrisburg Heat. The Heat still winless, 0-5, and the Tropics made sure that they went back north before getting their first win. Joined as always by Robbie Aristodemo. Robbie, you know Ricardinho a little bit. You were a teammate here when he was with the Tropics several seasons ago. Coaching changes can often make a difference, maybe for a game or 2, maybe 3, but now 6 games in, the difference is obvious. This Dallas Sidekicks team is playing much, much better than they were at the start of the season.
No, you're right, Brian. I mean, credit to the coaching staff, and I think the change was warranted, I guess. We don't know what the ins and outs are, but obviously they respect the coach, Ricardinho. He's got a lot of indoor experience, was a phenomenal player as well. He was well-traveled. I know he had some great years in Milwaukee, Detroit Ignition, obviously here with the Tropics as well. So, well-established indoor player.
Yeah, he is, and brought more of an indoor game feel, if you will, I think, to the Sidekicks. We'll talk a little bit more about that during the broadcast. Brought in some players like Jamie Lovegrove and Cody Ellis and Cameron Brown that are longtime Sidekick favorites that were not part of the roster to begin the season, and just that little bit of influx of indoor talent along with some of the new talent that the Sidekicks have identified really has made a nice mix, and the turnaround has been impressive. We'll see if they can continue that here tonight. As we said, the Tropics coming in off another impressive weekend where they outscored the Harrisburg Heat by a score of 19-4 in the 2 combined wins. A 7-1 win a week ago tonight here at the RP Funding Center, and then Sunday, really pretty much a total domination. Victor Pereiras with 4 goals in that one, a 12-3 final for the Tropics, and we will look at some of the highlights from that game, Robbie, here in just a moment. But Victor Pereiras, don't want to say it was a coming out party because he's great every game, but Victor with 4 goals was just spectacular.
No, I think you're right. I think Victor was obviously led the charge, 4 goals, was good on and off the ball, good on dead ball situations, kind of ran the show that day. It was a fantastic performance.
Yeah, he's been next level for the Tropics this year, as has Hugo Silva, who has been tremendous in goal. He comes in getting the starting nod tonight in goal as we get ready to take a look at some of those Harrisburg highlights, which may include some of the big saves that Hugo Silva. That was one of the goals of the week for obvious reasons in the MASL, and here's another one, a restart goal that the Tropics just don't score many of this year. In fact, really the first one true restart goal they've had all season. And then Pereiras mishit this one, but Zach Reggett able to clean up in front.
Yeah, opportunistic, perfect spot for Zach Reggett to clean it up.
Second half action and some pretty passing from Anthony Enrico to Ben Espinal, who has been impressive. He's in the lineup again tonight, and excited us the most is not only the play of guys like Victor Pereiras and Ricardo Carvalho and Zach Rega, but the young guys, Bruno Enrique, Ben Espinal, and Breno Oliveria, who scored twice last weekend, has been very impressive.
No, I think you're right. I think Clay's done a great job finding some youngsters that adapt quickly to the indoor game, and those are three players that really have adapted well.
Yeah, and for Oliveria, it's his first couple of goals. I think we may see one coming up here in just a minute. Here's Pereiras again coming in with the goal. I mean, this is an impressive offense that the Tropics run. In fact, they are second in the MASL overall in goals scored with 60 in 8 games. Kyle Williams getting his first, which was nice, and we'll see, in fact, if that leads to other goals for Kyle. There's Oliveria getting one from out near the yellow line. So we will continue to look at the goal-scoring onslaught. There's another pretty one by Enrique, which was a little more conventional. But as we said, the Tropics with 60 goals on the season, that is second in who have 61 in the same number of games played. The Tropics are number 2 defensively in the league, having allowed just 26 goals in 8 games. The only team with less is San Diego. They've given up 21 goals, but that's come in 5 starts. Robbie, let's take a look at the keys to the game tonight. A whole lot of love for the Sidekicks kicks it off, and that is Jamie Lovegrove.
Well, one of the top players for the Dallas Sidekicks. I mean, the Tropics are going to have to keep their eye on him for sure. He's all over the place, scores a lot of goals, a good quality player.
And then man-up markers, the Sidekicks have been tremendous on the power play this year. They're going to need every power play advantage they can get tonight.
Yeah, certainly on the road. 64% overall, fantastic percentage. We'll see what they can do tonight against a very strong Tropics team.
Conversely, the Tropics have to be special. Their special teams been better on the penalty kill, but the power play just 28%. That's got to get better.
Yeah, certainly. It's got to get better, and they have the quality players to do that, so it's just a matter of finding the right chemistry.
0 in on 0. The Tropics have 2 shutouts in their history. Both have come against the Dallas Sidekicks.
Well, that's not going to be an easy feat, especially with some of the talented players the Sidekicks have, but certainly they're up for the task.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out as we are just underway here in Lakeland tonight. Intercept at the center circle by Zach Rega. Carvalho will be watched by Kristen Quintana. Taken away there now by Lovegrove. Gets it ahead of the field to Luis Morales, number 15. Luis, as we said, a sensational rookie find, it seems like, for the Sidekicks, with 10 goals already on the season, most of any rookie in the MASL. Although Bruno Enrique trying to perhaps challenge that with his 7 goals. Here's Oscar Romero with it, has it blocked away by Rega. The big story tonight for the Sidekicks is in goal, because Juan Gamboa did not make the trip yet. He will be here Sunday and is expected to get the start, according to Ricardinho. But Chase Coy is making his first ever start for the Sidekicks. He is a youngster from the Metroplex area. We'll tell you a little bit about him, but we'll have to see how he is able to hold up against this high-powered attack as Pereiras comes in. Victor with a shot, and he just misses it far post.
Yeah, that combination with Regan and Victor has been lethal as of late. They're really looking for each other.
So Chase Coy gets a look at one of the best players in the entire MASL right out of the gate in Victor Pereiras. But Victor not able to find the mark.
You have a yellow line violation right now, so it's an opportunity for the Tropics to set something up on a dead ball situation. These are never so easy because they're pretty far away from the goal, but nonetheless an opportunity.
Anthony Enrico will set it in play. Monaleras took the shot from about 40 feet out, and that never got through. Handball called against the Tropics. Yeah, the Sidekicks coming in off 2 really good wins. One against Milwaukee, one against Baltimore. That one against Milwaukee, they scored twice in the final 2 minutes to win it. They were down by a goal, got a shootout opportunity with just over a minute or so to play. They converted on that and then got the game winner in the dying seconds. So they come in playing with a lot of confidence under their new coach, Ricardinho. Here's Bruno Enrique. Gets it ahead to Anthony Rico. Had Kyle Williams, but couldn't quite find the angle to get it to Williams, so they'll reset the offense. The Tropics will with Sandoval now. Rico gets it down to Bruno. Bruno, with his back to the goal, gets it off to Sandoval, bangs it in front. Nobody there for the Tropics, but Bruno going to hustle and going to be called for a handball there. That's one thing, though, you'll always get with Bruno, and one of the reasons he has been able to get some relatively easy goals on turnovers. High pressure, high energy, high effort all the time from number 25 of the Tropics.
Well, and you look at the first mistake from the rookie, it looked like a top of the box for me. Yeah, it looks like they are going to call that back. So big opportunity for the Tropics. Initial top of the box, top of the arc.
Yeah,
Victor Perez, what did he do last week? Just teed it up and said, listen, I'm going to go on my own, and it might be a good plan.
Yeah, if he sees a little daylight, absolutely, because
especially with a new keeper, Brian, he really hasn't faced any indoor teams, being his first start.
Carvalho's trying to go!
Those are the most difficult for keepers because you've got 3 players in the wall, and you don't really see the ball to the very last second, right through the 5-hole.
So Carvalho cashes in on the restart. And it's 1-0 Tropics for Carvalho. That is goal number 7.
Well, that's a tough start for the keeper because obviously hitting the top of the arc quickly. Got a replay here. You know, there's really nothing to it.
Because
top of the arc, especially with a new keeper, Brian, he really hasn't faced any indoor teams.
One
his
dummy
first
run
start.
and then just
Carvalho's trying to go!
Those are the most difficult for keepers.
So not even 3 minutes in, and Chase Coy says, not the way I wanted to start my MASL career. But we saw George Navarrete play for the Tropics a couple of weeks ago. He'd only made 1 career start. He was terrific, allowed only 3 goals. So, hey, a guy like Chase McCoy could come in here and stand on his head and make things really interesting. Or the Tropics could put all kinds of pressure on and pull this one, make it a rout early.
No, I think that's got to be the tactic for Clay Roberts, to see what he's made out of. Can he distribute out of the back? Can you make him a little bit rattled and make the game a little bit too fast? Obviously, you don't want him to settle in and get his feet wet.
Little give and go between Taylor Walter Bond and Drew Ruggles, who's back in the lineup. Ball in front, and Ben Espinal just missed the redirect at the far post. Yeah, I think the Tropics want to get a lot of bodies in front, run some isolation, use the boards. Here comes the counterattack for Dallas. Little miscommunication there perhaps as Piedra didn't go for it. Now there's a shot off the foot of Quintana, goes wide. Jones will pick up the rebound, or check that. That was Axel Cajunte.
And the Sidekicks, you know, again, they look to be a nice, lively bunch. Some quick players, tidy players, move the ball quickly. And there's a lot of movement off the ball as well. And you can see why. They've had a really nice last 5-6 games, beating some big hitters.
As we said, it's kind of a nice mix of veterans and newcomers. Chase for the ball. Taylor Walter Bond going to be whistled for the foul. Didn't appreciate that call. Wholesale changes now both ways here for both the Tropics and the Sidekicks. This is Romero with it. Oscar Romero has his pocket picked. Comes to Carvalho, leaves it to Ruggles. Chance for a great counter moment here. Here's Carvalho. Carvalho tees it up. Shot! Just misses at far post. Had Coy beaten and just couldn't quite bang it off the far post. Good idea by Carvalho. Now here's a break ahead of the field by Gonzalez, and Hugo Silva comes up and he's spilled. And Gonzalez will be whistled for the foul.
Two great transition moments.
Yeah, both
First
ways.
for the Tropics, a nice play from Ruggles, slipping into Ricardo Carvalho, just misses top shelf. And then going the other way, again, it's a nice place from Hugo Silva coming out to stop the counterattack from the Sidekicks.
Reggett will take it in the Dallas zone, then lose it. This is Brendan Lee with it. Back over to Mike Jones, who's had a nice career with the Sidekicks. Jones being watched by Carvalho. Now some space on the far wing here. 3-on-2 for Dallas if they hurry. There's the long shot, and that will go out of play off the foot of Steven Gonzalez.
One-man counter. Elects to go himself. Drew Ruggles just kind of allows him, absorbs the pressure, skies it 30 feet over the crossbar.
Hugo Silva comes in with the best goaltending stats in the entire league. Has a goals against average stellar at 3.18 and equally stellar saves percentage on the season. Comes in at 814. Those are both pretty much unheard of numbers in indoor soccer. You have a goals against in the 3s or 4s, you're doing extremely well. Save percentage in the 700s is usually considered very good, and Hugo's above both of those marks. Enrique taken down at the yellow line. Gets it back. Rico comes in to help out. Goes over the boards, and it'll be a kick in here for Dallas. The officials for today's match are brought to you by Capelli. Capelli is the official uniform sponsor of the MASL game officials. Kyle Trimble and
another almost steal from Enrique, always lurking.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
Turnover king right now. Really creates a ton of turnovers on his own just by pressing. And he's got long legs, he's wiry, and he's super quick.
Kyle Trimble and Elvis Osmanovic are the on-field officials this evening. I think they were here last weekend for one of the games.
I've been actually surprisingly impressed with the referees. I thought they've done a great job.
Be nice.
You know, obviously, being a former player, you're never happy. But, you know, being up here in the booth, it's a little bit of a different perspective. But they've done a great job up to this point in the season.
Well, one of the things that's interesting that I don't know if it's new this year. I know head referee Ryan Sikic sends out video clips every week to all the officials to review calls that were made properly or maybe not made properly. But what's new is he's also sending them to coaches and players, and then they're kind of like voting on whether or not they think the correct call was made. So it's interesting because the officiating crews are now getting direct feedback from coaches and players.
Well, and that's certainly never happened before in any league, and you love that.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I don't know if it's new this year. I think it may be, but
I certainly never had any input. I can tell you that much.
Well, you had input, but it probably wasn't real constructive at the moment. On the field, right? So,
but I think that's great if you can incorporate what the coaches are looking at, what the players are looking at, what the referees collaborate. And obviously, ultimately, you want to make what's best for the fans and have a good product.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what I mean, you know, knowing Ryan a little bit, obviously he wants his crew to be as good as they can be, and this is just one tool that he's used and expanded to really help everybody, and I think it's been positive, no question, as Taylor Walter Bond tries to get it off the boards there. Now in front. Try is a relatively easy save by Souza there off the foot of Oscar Romero.
Nice little opportunity.
Line change mishap for the Sidekicks over to Oliveria, and he takes the sliding shot and puts it up over the glass and out of play.
Yeah, heads up play from Hugo Silva, launching it for the 3-versus-2 transition opportunity. I think Breno's going to want that one back. Maybe he had an opportunity to take a touch, get his head up, and slip the ball back post to Enrique.
Breaking the action, 6:47 to play here in the first quarter. Florida 1, Dallas nothing. This is Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
Just underway here at the RP Funding Center, 1-0 Tropics, who have had a couple of good chances but haven't been able to increase the lead against Chase Coy, making his MASL debut. We'll talk more about him in just a moment. There's a long shot, and that one just misses the mark. Hugo didn't get a piece of it, had him beat, but was off the mark as
David Ortiz, rocket. Nice little in and out move as well with the sole of his foot.
almost a steal again by Enrique. Can't come up with it. Long ball down now to Morales, the high-flying rookie of the Sidekicks.
Well, and you can see he's a good quality target forward. Big body, holds the ball up well, strong. I'm excited to see him play with 10 goals on the season.
Yeah, he's got that good-looking indoor body. He's not real big, but he's very athletic-looking and obviously a good finisher with his 10 goals. So, yeah, it'd be fun to see him. Oh, that's what we said. It's been great to see the young talent on the roster for the Tropics. Here's Kyle Williams taking Gonzalez down, but no whistle.
Good defensive work from Kyle Williams, tracking back.
As we said, hasn't been quite as offensively potent as the Tropics perhaps expected, but he has contributed in a lot of other ways. Assists and block shots and a very good defensive play there to break up a 3-on-2 opportunity.
Yeah, up until this point right now, Dallas controlling a little bit more possession, but the Tropics getting a few more quality chances. So it's been a good boxing match so far.
Foul against DeRico. So Dallas will get a free kick outside the yellow line.
Yeah, guys, speaking about Enrico, I really like what he's done this season. He's more in control, doing a great job keeping his team in possession, not giving as many balls away, and getting himself into the scoring charts as well, not only with goals, but some quality assists. So he's had a tremendous start to the season.
Nice little calm and collected play by Drew Ruggles there to get the ball out of danger.
Yeah, cool as a cucumber, Drew. He's always a quarterback. Really slows and settles things down for the Tropics. Very experienced, obviously defender of the year type player.
One of the other things I like about this Dallas roster is they have a lot of Texas guys on there. They have gone very local with a lot of their talent, and Chase Coy is one of those. Good example of that. Played his high school ball at nearby McKinley Boyd High School in the Metroplex area. Was the district goaltender of the year there his senior year, and was a Dallas Morning News honorable mention all-star. Had 10 shutouts that year and a goals against average of 0.62.
Well, Texas, it is a hotbed for soccer. Obviously the Sidekicks have been around forever, but they're getting players from all over the place.
There's a long shot, and that one's just blasted wide by Pereira's. Reggett in front. Tried to set up Taylor Walter Bond, couldn't do it, and here's Lovegrove on the counter, being tracked by Taylor Walter Bond, and then he steals it away. Walter Bond across the yellow line, shot right on, and Coy makes his first good save of the game.
Yeah, that's a great save from Coy. Make it look very comfortable, and also good distribution as well.
Most of the other chances the Tropics have gotten have just been off the mark by just inches. That one was on goal. Wasn't a screamer, but Chase Coy had to go down to get it. Here's a shot. That one goes wide off the foot of Quintana. Comes all the way back out now to Lovegrove. Lovegrove started the season with the San Diego Sockers, and then when the coaching change was made, the Sockers doing the right thing and allowing him to come back to his hometown of Dallas, where his family, I know his fiance lives there. He was the subject of the interview this week on MASL Primetime with Alex Baschavansky. I'm getting much more confident in my pronunciation of Alex's name now. But in case you didn't catch it, might want to take a look on the MASL YouTube channel for MASL Primetime this week. Lots of Florida Tropics highlights, as you might imagine. Enrique leaves it for Sandoval in front. There's a shot. Go!
Beautiful target play from Enrique. Posts up. Sandoval makes a little run around, slips it back. He's got great court vision there. And the rookie Breno comes in and fires a shot. Bottom right corner. 2-0 Tropics.
Speaking of great-looking young players, Breno Oliveira picks up his third of the season, and it's 2-0 Tropics.
Well, a lot of chances for the Tropics up to this point. Hold up play, kind of got a little bit lucky there, but Sandoval comes in, looks up, slips it back. First time finish from Breno.
Yeah, nice patient play by
But I think the Tropics
Sandoval,
deserve to be up
yeah.
2-0. I mean, they've had a lot of quality chances, not a ton of possession, which is okay sometimes because they're not really a possession-based team. They really love to fly, get out there, get in transition, and create opportunities.
So Sandoval with a pretty assist. Pereira sets up Carvalho. Carvalho, little turf monster action there, unfortunately for Ricardo, as Ruggles tries to keep it alive. Ruggles battles there with Quintana, and Quintana.
Yeah, Quintana's kind of all over the place. A big, strong defender, but he leaves his ground, leaves his feet a lot, and I think it'll be an opportunity for the Tropics to expose that.
I think Kyle Trimble thought momentarily about a blue card there, decided against it. Here's Carvalho, the extra roll, and the shot goes well wide of the mark. Flight is the official match ball of the MASL. It's designed and produced by Flight, expertly designed for the indoor game. Flight is the premier partner of choice. Flight, challenge everything. Reggett challenging Sebastian Mendez there, another youngster from the Texas area on this Dallas roster. Bradley Valadez, number 88 on the far side.
Well, Ricardinho's style is such that it really is coming into play here with the Sidekicks. Very much passing, moving, possession-based team. Now how do they find themselves on the score steal?
Williams on the steal, and now here's a chance for Sandoval to pick up one of his own, and couldn't do it. Jones will collect the outlet near the midfield line. Tries to get by Vandergriff, can't do it. And Chad's going to be called for a little bit of obstruction over there. Just a little
call.
Shoulder lean.
Yeah, it wasn't much in it, but
just enough.
Yeah, just enough. But you do like the start from both teams, actually. It's a lively game. A little bit more tempo to last weekend's game against the Harrisburg Heat. I thought the Tropics really just dominated them from start to finish.
Yeah, no question about that. Better days coming for the Heat. They did not play, of course, in 2021, and they're working some youngsters into the lineup as well. Here's a little give and go and a miss hit by Piedra. Reggett going to settle it at the yellow line. Look out, Zach. He'll take down a player, and no whistle there.
A bit of a dive.
A little bit. Could have been a foul, but here's a chance in front. Silva comes out and stops Valadez. Hugo's best save of the first quarter. But you're right, Robbie. I mean, the Sidekicks are creating some opportunities and chances here.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. I mean, I like the possession. I like the rotations. I like how quick they're changing with the players in their line. So there's a lot of movement. You don't see guys on the field for too long. They want to keep their legs fresh, quick, explosive, and I'm certainly very impressed so far.
Piedra will feed it deep in for Lovegrove. He couldn't handle it off the boards. Reggett has it. Decides to just get it out of trouble. Kyle Williams going to chase out. Good play there by Coy as he calmly got it over to a veteran in Cody Ellis, who is new to the Sidekicks after the coaching change. No Cameron Brown tonight. He is still under the weather, so he will not play this weekend. Again, one of the players that joined Ricardinho in the, let's say, newly reconstituted Sidekicks, who are now in second place, by the way, in the Central Division behind Kansas City. You know, it's funny. We're fans. I'm a fan, so you look at the schedule and you at the start of the season, and you go, well, that's a win, that might be a loss, that's a win. You get to 2 games at home against Dallas in the middle of January, and you think, well, that's a win. I mean, you don't even think twice about it. And you get out of the gate 0-3, you have a couple of lopsided losses, and you make the change, and all of a sudden it's a dangerous game on the schedule. Enrique trying to create an opportunity. Taylor Walter Bond does a nice job keeping it alive. Enrique taken down hard, and
surprised these aren't blue cards because players are leaving the ground.
A couple have been,
Very
and
reckless.
that one could have been too, yeah.
For me, those are just obvious blue cards. When someone leaves the ground and gets clipped, for the most part in the indoor game, that's a blue card.
And Drew Ruggles is kind of asking the same thing.
Yeah.
So Breno Oliveria.
Well, you only got 2 in the wall here, Brian, so it's an opportunity just to take a crack at it.
There he does, and save, rebound, that never got through. Blocked in there nicely on the defense by Quintana. Still a chance for the Tropics to push forward. A little too toasty for Ruggles, and then Taylor Walter Bond going to be taken or called for the foul on the takedown against Lovegrove. So Dallas still with some time perhaps to counter. Here's Felipe Silva, another one of those good veterans that add to the mix. Out to Lovegrove. Ben Espinal trying to make a steal there against Quintana. Still with some pressure. Gets it back to Coy. Tried to feed it to Lovegrove. And there's a whistle and a foul, but time has expired at the end of the first quarter. Pretty good quarter of soccer here both ways, all things considered. We'll see how it plays out in the next 15 minutes. Breaking the action, it's the Florida Tropics 2, the Dallas Sidekicks, no score. This is Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
Back here in Lakeland as we get ready for second quarter action. Tropics lead it 2-0 on goals by Breno Oliveria and Ricardo Carvalho. Ricardo's 7th of the season, Breno's 3rd. Busy night in the MASL. This is one of 4 on the agenda. They are underway in Baltimore as the Ontario Fury are visiting the Blast. They are underway in Milwaukee as well as Utica City and the Wave do battle. And then the Chihuahua Savage make their home debut later at 10 o'clock Eastern against the San Diego Sockers. So busy Friday night in the MASL, which had some exciting news this week, which we'll share with you as we move along here this evening. Van de Griff steps up, takes a shot, and Jones
Beautiful.
Yeah, is able to knock it out of harm's way.
Yeah, great full volley from Van de Griff. Comes off the boards and lands perfectly in full strike.
I think he might be the only player on the roster without a point so far this season. They didn't sign him for his offensive skills. He's one of the
great energy. Gets up and down the pitch for a big man. Really like what he's doing defensively for the Tropics.
Ferreras will take it into the corner. Tried to get it to Ruggles in front and drew just a little
defensive miscue from the Sidekicks. I mean, off the boards and again, I think the boards has been really good to the Tropics this season. They're using it a lot more, utilizing the indoor game, getting a lot of back post tap-ins as well. So I love the unselfish play that Clay Roberts has his players playing like, and for me, it's all the back post tap-ins.
Long ball, and that's is that a 3-line violation, I do believe? So it'll be a restart at the yellow line here for Florida.
Yeah, it's a second one.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. It'll actually be top of the arc restart.
No, can't be top
Yeah,
of
no,
the arc.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I was going to say, they're not going to penalize you quite that much for a 3-line pass. There's a shot by Monaleris, and that was blocked. Yeah.
Tell you what, he's a big body at the back, strong defender. One of the reasons why he's wearing the captain's armband for the Sidekicks.
And that would be Christian Quintana. Sandoval going to head it out of harm's way. Quintana's
impressed me. He's lively for a big man. Difficult to spin, difficult to beat, block shots, good distributor.
Piedra was actually looking back post there. There's a shot. Monaleris has it. Foul in the box. That'll go against Dallas. Hugo rocking the purple goalie uniform tonight. I think that may be a new look for Hugo. Long outlet to Bruno Enrique. Enrique loses that battle to Steven Gonzalez. Then Sandoval picks up the loose ball. So the Tropics will keep possession. Monaleris gets it over to Sandoval. Monaleris will take a look. Gets it to Williams. Kyle Williams gets by his man deep into the corner. Trying to still fight in front, taken down, and there's a whistle and a foul. So the Tropics will get a dangerous restart here.
Yeah, play like a corner, get a couple lefties, get a couple righties. Again, this is a good spot. I think the Tropics do need to be better on. We talked about, the dead ball situations are slowly starting to get a little bit better as the season ticks away.
No corner kick goals, though, I don't believe this year.
They're not easy.
Here's one to Ruggles. Ruggles was the extra roll and then didn't hit it well. Comes in front. Good play by Chase Coy to play it off the boards as we have a injured sidekick player there for a moment.
I think referees are letting things go a little bit.
This is like a Tim Tima officiated game. I mean, I used to joke about Tim and love him. If there was no blood on the play, there was no foul. And now,
hey, we just talked about it.
And there comes one, as Arico got tied up and he drew the foul. Yeah, he's the one that kept us cool and walked away. And you're right, 2 or 3 years ago, that probably doesn't happen.
Boy, he picks the Dallas Sidekicks defender's pocket and kind of gets just pulled down. It's a great play. And I've been impressed with the power play just in terms of the movement as of late. It's been better. I think the combination with Ricardo Carvalho as a left footer, you've got Reggett that starts inside, then he kind of floats outside. And you've got Breno, he's a very underrated technical player. He's really good with the sole of his foot, and he's got a cannon of a shot as well. So this could be a good 5 right now for the Tropics.
So Ortiz gets the gate. Tropics on the power play with Carvalho, Reggett, Ferreras, Kyle Williams, and who's the 5th man out there? It's Breno Oliveria. So confidence in the youngster. Here's Kyle Williams down to Oliveria. Oliveria pressured by Lovegrove, and the whistle blows. Quick restart to Victor. Ferreras with a shot. Go!
It's going to be an easy one, and disappointing on the Sidekicks part because you allow Victor Pereas just to tee it up and have a beautiful strike.
That's almost unfair, right? playing.
Well, he's got one of the better shots in the MASL.
Right.
There was a little bit of a defensive miscue from the Sidekicks, but nonetheless, good pass from Breno. We'll get the replay, but it doesn't get any easier for Victor.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it wasn't maybe just deflected a touch, but yeah, that's way too much space for one of the best. No, it wasn't deflected at all. That was
just
yeah,
basically
a
restart.
Laser. Yep.
Good court vision from Breno. Sees it quickly, plays at the top of the box. Victor takes a touch and fires it home.
So the Tropics do get a power play goal. We said special teams could play a big factor tonight, and the Tropics 1 for 1 on the power play as Vandergrift tries to clear it off the boards. Gonna fight in there with Quintana. Now loose in the box. Enrique comes back in to help, and Quintana will pull it back out and reset the Dallas offense. Want to send a special hello to the Dallas broadcast team, Eddie Piskarich and Matt Thornton. Great to have them behind the mics in Dallas this year. And Eddie doesn't know it, but I actually know him a little bit. As Breno Oliveria looks to create another opportunity down low. Here's a give and go, and Coy does a good job coming out to knock it away, but it's going to be a restart at the top of the arc.
Yeah, I don't think the keeper could have done much with that, but that's another tough one to give up. It's the second top of the arc. Tropics are starting to get some confidence now with their set pieces.
Yeah,
what do we see? Another direct?
Yeah, maybe. That was just unfortunate for Coy. He did the right thing, but yeah, if Pereira sees a little daylight, he'll take it. No, it looks like it's Carvalho. He'll leave it to Victor. Had that one then blocked in there by Brendan Lee just at the last second.
Unlucky from Reggett.
Zach's got it back and then has it knocked off his foot. Dallas will counter. Reggett trying to recover against Lovegrove.
Really good transition defense from the Tropics. All 5 guys sprinting behind the ball, creating a turnover.
Carvalho gets it ahead to Ruggles. Tropics need to complete a line change here. That's why they didn't get more aggressive on the counter than they might otherwise have. Carvalho will go one-on-one against Lovegrove. As we said, they like to run some of that isolation. Gets it down to Victor off the boards. Carvalho, goal! Oh my goodness, was that textbook or what?
That's a beautiful 2-man game with the 2 veterans, Victor and Ricardo. Give and go off the boards, inside of the foot, tap in. Excellent interchange. You can see Clay Roberts just loving that play. Classic indoor goal off the boards.
Yeah, I promise you, they talked about that in the locker room before the game. That is exactly how Clay Roberts drew it up. I mean, that was a thing of beauty.
A little 1v1 play with Ricardo Carvalho. Gets his head up, slips it to his right. Victor Pereira sees the run inside the box. Hits a great ball off the boards. And that's not an easy ball off the boards because of the angle that Victor's at. So credit to him, obviously being indoor savvy, knows exactly where to use the boards. Finds Ricardo in the box by himself. And I think Ricardinho right now, timeout. He said, listen, we're losing track of runners in the box. As much as I've been impressed with the Sidekicks in terms of their possession and their interchanging, they do tend to lose a little bit of their markers inside the box. And I think right now the Tropics have had some easy opportunities. And that's probably one of the reasons why Ricardo, head coach, needs to talk, Ricardinho needs to talk to them about, listen, you've got to be disciplined, stay with runners, follow runners, and stop giving up such easy opportunities.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that Ricardinho needed a timeout right there just to try and settle things both for the goaltender Chase Coy, who is making his MASL debut. And, I mean, none of those goals are Chase's fault by any stretch of the imagination. Those were just really good plays and just a veteran, good offensive team creating opportunities for themselves that Coy just did not have any chance on.
I think what I've been impressed with most so far with the start is we both know that the Tropics have a lot of firepower in the offensive third, but for me it's just really the commitment to defending as a unit that is creating some of those easy transition opportunities in the attacking third. So I do like what the Tropics are doing defensively. They're all buying into defending as a unit.
Well, goals per game average, the Tropics lead that handily. As we said, they've only given up 26 goals on the entire season. That's in 8 games. The San Diego Sockers have given up 21 goals. There's a chance, and that one's rolled wide. But that's just they've only played 5 games. So Yeah, we talk all the time about the offense of this Tropics team, but defensively, they're very good as well, and there's one of the reasons. Sandoval with a pretty play. Enrique now coming back with Kyle Williams. Enrique will try and pull it back out, keeps possession, and now sends it to the midfield line for Anthony Arrico.
Yeah, I like Sandoval. Again, unsung hero type player.
Enrique with it. Yeah, he's Gibraltar back there. He's kind of like, he's got a little bit more of an offensive game than Chad Vandergriff, but he's got a lot of Vandergriff in him. Just very good defensively, rarely makes a mistake back there. And here comes the counter now by Luis Morales. Morales takes a shot, blocked by the aforementioned Vandergriff. Now here's a collision in front, still loose, and they're going to call the Tropics on the foul. So quick restart
what a
opportunity,
block.
And there's Sandoval with a block. Good heads-up play by Dallas, and Sandoval there to save the moment.
Yeah, and Tropics kind of complaining a little bit to the referees. Heads-up play from the Sidekicks, play a quick free kick, and really a beautiful block from Sandoval to kind of bail the Tropics out.
Tropics were able to do that quick restart against Harrisburg for a goal last weekend, and almost got a dose of their own medicine there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of my pet peeves is just whining to the referees. It never works out in your favor anyway, so it's about focusing on the play and getting on with it.
Long ball down to Walter Bond. Ruggles going to try and settle it. Intercepted there by Quintana. Dallas will counter here. Ball ahead of the field to Mendez. Mendez has it taken off his foot. Picked up there by Ortiz. Chance in front. Silva with a save. He got big on the short side there.
A good opportunity for the Sidekicks. A good ball movement. Some one-touch football.
And
creates a chance.
They've been better out of the timeout, which, as we said, was opportune by Ricardinho at that moment.
They got a lot of potential. It's a good-looking squad. They're very athletic, quick, tidy. I just think defensively they got to shore some things up.
Turf Monster again comes into play as Valadez wasn't able to create the opportunity he was looking for. The long outlet going to be intercepted by Oliveria. Breno will play it back to Monaleris. So Ed Piskarich, the voice of the Sidekicks this year on their broadcasts, he and I have the Columbus Capitals in common. Ed started, I believe, his professional career with the Columbus Capitals of the American Indoor Soccer Association. That was back in 1983-84. And I was a newspaper reporter for the Columbus Citizen Journal at the time. And because I had covered indoor soccer previously, I was elected to cover the Capitals.
Beautiful.
So for 2 seasons, I covered Les Shkreli, who led the AISA in goals with 59 that first season, and Ed Piskarich, a defenseman on that team. So, Eddie, we got the Columbus Capitals to tie us together in the old American Indoor Soccer Association, a league that still has relevance today because that's the league the Milwaukee Wave made their debut in that same 1984 season. So the Milwaukee Wave still, of course, going strong today here in the Major Arena Soccer League. But they got their start with the likes of the Columbus Capitals and the Kalamazoo Kangaroos and others in the AISA. Here's the Tropics.
Good heads-up play from Victor Perez. He needs a line change. He doesn't want to get exposed defensively if, in fact, they lose the ball. Get some fresh legs out there. I think that's a savvy indoor play. It's about keeping legs fresh and playing at a high tempo.
Yeah, I'm not sure we give the mental side of his game as much credit as Ruggles is denied in front, but Reggett will keep it alive for the Tropics. We talk so much about his leadership and his ball striking ability and his playmaking ability, but it all starts upstairs for Victor. He understands the game and uses his brain to play this game and position himself as well as anybody in the league. Here's a counter for Morales and the Sidekicks.
It's the second time he's recovered a nice toe poke tackle from behind.
Enrique trying to create some space, catches up over to Williams, shot, goal!
Wow, that's all Kai Williams. First of all, he disrupts, coming all the way back, a 40-yard run, toe pokes it away, starts to counter with Bruno Enrique. And again, another beautiful, unselfish play. Bruno Enrique takes it himself, slips it back post. Great top shelf finish from Kai Williams.
I mean, sooner or later, the league's going to figure out that Bruno Enrique's got some great speed to go along with his size and playmaking and finishing ability, but his speed and work ethic is all the hard work on that goal done by Bruno Enrique and Kyle Williams, the benefactor.
That's a nice left-footed slip pass far post. Kai Williams, easy tap in top right shelf. You love the opportunity going both ways, but I was more impressed with Kai Williams coming all the way back defensively, toe pokes it away, and then he gets forward in the transition opportunity. So great energy from him, and credit to him for scoring that goal, but you love the unselfish play from Bruno Enrique.
So his second of the year for Kyle Williams, and was kind of kidding him in the locker room before the game. I said that first goal last weekend against Harrisburg we knew was a long time in coming, and maybe it'll open the floodgates for you like it did with Ricardo Carvalho, who
that's
struggled.
Exactly what it can do.
Yep, struggled out of the gates and then got one, and then all of a sudden had 4 in the game. So,
well, and he's getting opportunities as well. You know, Clay Roberts has Kai Williams on the man-up situation, so sometimes when you're getting put in situations where you're on the ball, you're getting more touches, it does give you more confidence. So I can remember if you're not on the man-up situation and you're not on dead ball situations like top of the arc, you can sometimes find yourself out of a little bit of a rhythm. So he's really stepping up his game and doing so far really well. And
I think it's a reflection that Clay Roberts recognized that he was still doing a lot of good things on the floor, even though he wasn't scoring the way that everyone expected maybe right out of the gate, because that can be frustrating, obviously. And Clay Roberts sticking with him and putting him, as you mentioned, on the power play unit. And his game is now starting to really round into form. But
yeah, no, I agree, Brian. I think, and one of the keys for coaches, too, is sometimes we expect so much from the target forward and the second forward. We need goals, we need assists. At the end of the day, we just need good team play and getting W's, and that's what the Tropics are doing right now, whether it's a defender that's scoring, a midfielder like a Victor Perez or an Anthony Narico. I mean, it's been a total team effort so far today.
Well, the Sidekicks with a lot of work to do here now as Felipe Silva is double-teamed along the far boards. Oliveria trying to keep it alive, does. Oh, he had Taylor Walter Bond making a run ahead of the field, but just couldn't quite slip it to him. But again, a good idea by Oliveria.
Well, and Oliveria is playing in that midfield. I know Clay's changed that a little bit. He was a defender early on, and now he's a midfielder. And I do like the energy that he brings to the midfield. He's got the technical ability for that position, and he's got good movement off the ball. So I do like that change from Clay Roberts.
Tropics have picked up the pace offensively as well, already with 8 shots here in the second quarter, and we're not even halfway through. Pereiras with it. Pereiras stopped momentarily over there by Silva. Gets it back. Leave it now to Vandergriff. So that's about all that's left offensively. Get Vandergriff on the score sheet. As I said, they don't pay him for that. But here's Chad Shadow, and there was a great save by Chase Coy.
Oh, and he wants that one back.
I think the Tropics were thinking the same thing. Yeah,
they heard you too, and it was a nice little give-and-go play. Chad continues his run, gets himself a nice shot point blank.
Best save of the game for Chase Coy, no doubt about that. Here's a turn by Morales. Morales not able to get an opportunity to create the shot in the end, and then Tropics will just clear the area. Espinal going to head to the bench on a line change.
Yeah, tough line change from the youngsters. Really bad time to sub when you don't have the ball and the ball's on the opposite side of the field.
Ortiz with it, gets it back out on top now to Cody Ellis. Well, the good news if you're a Dallas fan is one of your stalwarts and one of the reasons you've won 5 of your last 6, Juan Gamboa, will be here on Sunday, or is certainly expected here on Sunday. He had a personal commitment in Dallas area tonight that he was not able to get out of, and so happens in this league. Guys are coaches and have other commitments off the floor from time to time. And remember Clay Roberts missing a regular season game a few years back when his Southeastern University men's team was in the playoffs, and obviously sometimes those commitments take precedent, and so Juan is not hurt and not sick and expected to be here, and I'm sure in goal again for the Sidekicks on Sunday. But that certainly is a handicap for the Sidekicks tonight, although, as we said, you certainly can't blame Coy, I don't think, on any of the goals that we've seen, and he's made several very good saves. Taylor Walter Bond loses it. Chad Vandegrift steps up. Ellis will head it back the other way. In there battling now is Mendez, and sent deep all the way, and that'll be a 3-line pass. As
a few mistakes, but
Yeah.
Victor's, he's kind of trying to catch some wind there. It was a long shift defensively. And again, giving up a yellow line violation really isn't that big of a deal. Typically, it's not easy to score from this position.
Jamie Lovegrove may try, though. He's a great striker. Nope, he'll lay it off, and there's the shot, and that's blocked. Lovegrove will keep it alive as Ellis was not able to get that opportunity by him. Now here's Reggett with some space. Reggett double team from behind, though. Good recovery by both Ellis and Lovegrove there. Now Carvalho takes it away near the midfield line. Carvalho taken down hard. He's okay. On the foul was Morales, the rookie. Drew wants a little more space on the restart.
You certainly got to give Ruggles credit. He's always chirping and letting the referee know
Always
exactly
looking for
what
the
he wants.
advantage somewhere, right? Yeah.
Veteran play.
Yeah, no, can't blame him. That was heads up on Drew's part as he makes the steal. Gets it over to Anthony Arrico.
Well, you're up 5-0 right now. You can take a little bit of sting out of the ball, but...
There's a give and go. Go!
But that is not the Tropics style. They don't want to take the sting out of anything. They're always looking to go forward. Nice little give and go play with Montelares and the rookie Enrique. And you love the soul roll pass. And we both know that Montelares has a cannon of a shot.
And he made no mistake on the little give and go with Bruno Enrique. Another play impressive by Bruno. His second assist in as many goals. And they were both pretty ones. Take a look at Bruno again doing most of the hard work and setting up a teammate.
Yeah, Montelares just plays it into a really dangerous spot, follows his own pass. Enrique just souls it back into the steps of Montelares, and he fires home a first-time shot. Nothing the keeper could have done about that. Again, defensive tracking is lacking right now for the Sidekicks.
Yeah, that has been a rather obvious problem here this evening. The Tropics, as has been the case against just about everybody this year, just much quicker, much faster.
And I also think defensively, when you're when you have a good target forward like Enrique, if you get pinned that deep, it's always going to be a recipe for disaster. So you almost have to front those target forwards when they get in those types of positions.
Well, let's see if the Sidekicks can maybe get one or two here. Don't think we've mentioned it yet, and it's probably a little too early to mention, to be perfectly honest. And I apologize to Hugo Silva if I jinx him, but the Tropics have 2 shutouts in their history. Both have come against the Dallas Sidekicks.
Well, I really like what they're doing defensively. They're getting such numbers behind the ball. Very difficult for the Sidekicks to penetrate and find any space. Everyone's working hard together, pressing, covering together as a group.
And, I mean, the way we're going, that might be the only storyline that really is going to be of huge interest in the second half, because the Tropics just continue to pour it on here with a 6-0 lead.
It has been an impressive first half from the Tropics. Again, the Sidekicks had a decent start to the game, and then as the Tropics generated more opportunities, now all of a sudden it's 6-0 with only 2 minutes left in the half. Jamie
Lovegrove will come off the bench for this restart. Off the boards in front. Good defensive play by or is that actually JP Reyes that made the play? JP, a longtime veteran of the game, coached the Tropics outdoor UPSL team to a National Final Four appearance this past summer. We'll send it down looking for Ben Espinal, and that's going to go right to Chase Coy.
That's actually a decent attempt from JP Reyes. I always like to see him on the pitch. He's a great guy, works hard. He's always doing what's best for the team.
There's a shot by Lovegrove that misses on the short side. Reggett going to turn, gives it to Williams, and he'll play it back for Ruggles. Still a minute 40 to go is Pereiras. Pereiras trying to find some space, gives it to Zach Reggett. Reggett at the yellow line, being watched by Lovegrove. Will play it back to Reyes, and now to Taylor Walter Bond off the bench. Little ball at the yellow line to Pereiras. Tropics will run a little clock here. 6-0 lead. Don't want to give up a cheap one or a bad one late, and look out, that could be a blue. Nope, it'll be a foul, though, against Taylor Walter Bond, as he collided heavily there with Christian Quintana.
Yeah, he got a little bit too cute, Taylor Walter Bond. He makes a tough challenge, and then it makes a bad sub as well. Kind of hurts Ricardo Carvalho, puts him in a difficult situation defensively.
Ruggles trying to pick up Quintana here in front, and Hugo Silva collects. A couple of pieces of news from the MASL this week that's pretty exciting. One is they're bringing back a college draft starting next year.
I did hear that. That's super exciting.
Yep, there'll be a 5-round college draft. The first 2 rounds will be territorial, meaning the Tropics, for example, will, I don't know exactly what their geographic area will be, but generally, obviously, Florida and perhaps some other southeastern states. And that will be conducted next spring. Of course, Keith Tozier knows a thing or two about drafts. He was the first player ever drafted in indoor soccer, literally. Here's a chance shot. Silva with a big save. And then a rebound goal. So, Hugo, sorry about that. Won't be a shutout tonight, but the Sidekicks will get one late here to feel a little bit better about themselves going to intermission.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. Gives them a little bit of confidence with 30 seconds left to get one on the stats. And you know, without seeing the replay, just it looked like a little bit of a rebound.
Yeah, it was a great initial save, and he just couldn't quite control the rebound.
And good positioning offensively from their leading goal scorer. That's 11 on the year.
Yep, that's Morales collecting the rebound, being in the right spot at the right time, which can be 90% of the battle in this sport. Ruggles will head it back the other way to Carvalho. Still 10 seconds to go. Tropics could press forward for one last chance, but nice defensive play there by Cody Ellis to break up that late opportunity, and the Tropics will indeed have to settle for a 6-1 halftime lead. So a very good half for the Tropics. The Sidekicks with one late. We'll see if that's something to build on. We'll talk about it during the Do Amici halftime report. But that is only the half of it here at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. The more to come sign is up. We'll talk about it all during intermission and then have the second half when we return. This is Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
It's the Duamici halftime report here at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. The Tropics leading the Dallas Sidekicks 6-1, and we'll see what the Sidekicks can do about that deficit, maybe build on that late goal. But it was all Tropics early on. Robbie, not a huge surprise, I guess, with the Sidekicks making a debut in goal for their goaltender. Chase Coy hasn't played poorly. You certainly can't blame, I don't think, Chase on any of those goals, but the reality is when you're facing maybe the best offense in the MASL, or certainly one of the best 2 or 3 offenses in the league, just a very difficult assignment for a little goal from the top of the yard. Not well played necessarily by Dallas, Robbie, and it was 1-0 early.
As you
Then
might
Bruno
imagine.
Enrique doing his good stuff. Sandoval in
You
front.
like
There's a
what
shot.
Yoshi did there. Again, gets his head up, finds the top of the box. Brenner with a nice first-time finish.
Not that Bruno got an assist on that one, but again,
Pereira
a lot
with
of
a
hard
shot.
work. There's the crack by Pereiras on the power play.
Yeah, that was power play
Bala
again.
will go one-on-one against
struggling a
Club
little
Grove,
bit, but
as
that
we
was an
said.
easy finish for Victor
They like to
Pereira.
run some. Went to
Probably the goal of the game so
Yeah.
far. Just nice give and go off the boards. Tough angle. Ricardo Carvalho, first time finish in the box.
that made it 4-0, and then the 2 good plays by Bruno, setting up first Kyle Williams, who got his second of the year. Bruno, his first of 2 assists on the night, and then his second one, the pretty give and go here with Monaleris, holds it up, and then Lucas with the bomb.
Yeah, you love the little give and go. Victor Monteleris looks up, finds the target forward, rolls it back into his path.
And there's Morales with the rebound goal. Silva making the initial stop. As we said, Hugo making the first save, unable to control it though, and the rookie there for the rebound. Hugo coming in with a 3.18 goals against average, and he'll be a little upset at himself for not being able to corral that first shot, but that happens in the indoor game, and Morales was able to find himself at the right spot at the right time, which, as we said, is a big part of indoor soccer. But, Robbie, if you're Ricardinho at halftime, I mean, I don't think you're in there trying to convince the guys that you can win this game necessarily, but what do you want to see from them work on and improve on in the second half?
I think overall it's just as simple as just tracking runners. I think they're losing runners too easily. The Tropics are scoring too easily and creating too many easy chances, point-blank chances as well. So I think if you're Ricardinho, if you want to end up striving to make the playoffs and win a championship, you've got to be really, really solid defensively. I think offensively they've got some nice pieces, but defensively is where they've got to stay with runners, be disciplined, don't ball watch, and continue to develop on that end of the field.
Yeah, that got to be noticeable, especially in that second quarter where the Tropics had runners and got goals that were impressive to watch, but were as much a part of Dallas not doing the proper thing defensively as it was the execution of the Tropics offensively. We'll talk more about what we expect from the Tropics in the second half after we return from this timeout. It's the Duamici halftime report on Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics. Back in a moment.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Going between Utica City and Milwaukee, they are tied at 4-4, two teams that frankly are looking to try and find themselves. They've been, I'm sure, disappointed so far in what they've been able to put on the field here in the 2021-22 season, but both teams did not play in the previous MASL season because of the COVID restrictions in their areas, and I think we all maybe perhaps underestimated how much time it would take for those teams to come back. So both of those clubs really, I don't want to say desperate for a win, but certainly in need of a win tonight, and they are tied at 4-4. And then in Baltimore, a very good matchup between the Ontario Fury, making an East Coast swing this weekend against the Blast tonight. Baltimore has an early 2-1 lead in that one, and that is a game the Tropics will keep particular eye on because it is the Blast that are in second behind Florida in the Eastern Division. The Tropics on top with a 7-1 record. Baltimore comes in tonight at 4-2, so they will try and keep pace with the Tropics. Assuming Florida moves on to the win here tonight, you don't want to totally make that assumption, but they were much the better in that first 30 minutes, Robbie. If you're Clay Roberts, yet again, I think we've said this on most of the broadcasts, I'm not sure you change much at halftime. It's just more of the same. Stay aggressive and play that good five-man behind-the-ball defense.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right, Brian. It's almost a perfect half. Obviously, they're scoring very late with only 30 seconds left for the Sidekicks, but really offensively was good because they were combining well in the two-man game, whether it was the second forward in the target or the midfielder in the target. Moving off the ball was good, but I think more impressively was just their team commitment to defense, and they got to continue to do that, and that's going to win them games.
Yeah, I think we need to spend more time talking about that, although we've certainly pointed out the very solid play of, beyond solid, very good play of guys like Yoshio Sandoval and Chad Vandergrift back there. Lucas Monolaris is one of the original Tropics defenders going all the way back to the 2016-2017 season. He's done nothing but get better every season. J.P. Reyes, very steady back there defensively as always. Drew Ruggles, look, he was the MASL Defender of the Year 2 years ago, so don't really need to say much more about Drew and his contributions. But, yeah, defensively, Clay Roberts will tell you up and up this is an offensive team, but at the same time, they will pride themselves defensively. We see guys like Kyle Williams and Ricardo Carvalho, Victor Pereras coming back and making very good defensive plays all the time, and that just speaks to the mindset and the coaching of Clay Roberts and what he expects from his team. So 6-1 our final. The two teams are back on the floor here to get ready to start the second half, so we'll head down to the floor and get ready for that action as well, as Ricardinho perhaps will suffer his second loss of the season tonight as the Sidekicks coach after taking over 3 games into the regular season from Pablo da Silva, who built a roster with a lot of young guys on it, a lot of local guys, which, as we said, we like. I think perhaps a more technical mindset from Pablo, maybe a little bit more of a futsal mindset, and it just didn't seem to be working, and it wasn't really ultimately, I don't think, what the Dallas management wanted, if you will, and so I think they just decided it would be better to hit the reset button and bring in a guy like Ricardinho, who knows the Sidekicks well, who was able to recruit and bring back several very good indoor players like Cameron Brown and Lovegrove and Ellis, and it paid immediate dividends, and it will probably continue to pay dividends. But as good a wins as they've had over teams, as we said, like Baltimore and Milwaukee, they have not faced the ilk of the Florida Tropics, and so far here tonight, the Tropics have been the dominant side, but we both know Ricardinho pretty well from his time here in Florida, and we know that the Sidekicks will come out with a big effort here in the second half and will not go quietly into this.
Or, again, that doesn't really mean a whole bunch because you can score in bunches, you can score very quickly. Things can turn extremely fast in the indoor game.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a couple of quick ones here to start the second half, it can change the tenor and the confidence level and the momentum, no question about that. So we'll see if
the other thing too, Brian, is they obviously are going to play against each other again on Sunday, so you don't want to lay down even if it is 6-1. You want to make sure that the Tropics are in the game. They know that they got another tough one on Sunday, and it's always going to be a psychological as well. The Sidekicks just can't give in so easy, which I don't think they will in the second half.
Clay Roberts and Ricardinho know each other very well. They played against each other in the MASL finals back in 2006-2007 season. Clay Roberts with the Philadelphia Kicks and Ricardinho that year with the Detroit Ignition. The Kicks winning the championship game by a 13-8 count. And then a couple of years later, Ricardinho joined the Kicks. And
well, I tell you, that Detroit
teammates.
Ignition team was really, really tough to play against. I can remember going there and playing really small pitch, but very talented roster. No surprise they made the final that year.
Yeah, right. I meant to look it up. I think I have that information somewhere, and I'm going to have to look it up. The career goals scored by Ricardinho and Clay Roberts.
It's not going to be close.
So how many do you think Clay had in his career?
Oh, geez.
Here's a chance in front. A goal. Pretty play by the Sidekicks. And finished off by Bradley Valadez.
It looks like Romero with the assist.
Yeah, that was what the Tropics were doing to the Sidekicks in the first half.
Yeah,
and
two-man game.
Yep, little dose of their own medicine right there.
Well, we talk about losing runners in the box. I think we could talk about that. It was a nice little give-and-go play. Tropics losing their runner. Nice, easy finish. We'll probably get a nice little replay in a second to see the highlight, but right, no replay. Okay, so again, from what we saw, it's just a nice little give-and-go. A good first-time finish from Valadez, and gives him a bit of confidence to start the second half.
Exactly what the Sidekicks were looking for coming out here with an early goal to.
But back to your question about the goals from Clay Roberts.
Yeah.
If I were to take a guess, I can't remember how many years he played with the Kicks. I mean, I want to say,
I think he played
6
4.
to 8. Okay, I was going to say 6.
4 or 5. I know 4 for sure.
I would say as a target defender, I would say he had total goals 20.
You're a little high.
Okay, well, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I like Clay.
In fact, you're a lot high.
Oh, no, sorry, Clay. I didn't want to say under 10.
We'll tell you in a minute because the Sidekicks on a counter again here. Chance in front, knocked away by Vandegrift. Silva will come in to try and keep it alive for Dallas. Sidekicks will keep possession here. Long shot right on, and Silva makes the save as, again, it was the rookie Morales.
Yes.
From about 45 feet, just about knocked Silva off his pins.
That's a great left-footed cannon from Morales, the rookie.
Reggett goes down and recovers. So Clay Roberts, in his career, had 1 goal.
That must have been, was that an empty net goal, a 6 attacker?
I'll ask him because that's a good question. Interestingly, it came in his final year when Ricardinho was his teammate. So Ricardinho there for a little history is Chase Coy has a little trouble with it in front of his own goal, but finally gets it out of there. Tropics will keep possession, though. Reyes right quickly into Carvalho, stays in play for Ricardo, and then knocked over the boards, and it'll be a restart from the top of the arc here.
That's the third top of the arc for the Tropics. They've had some success, certainly, with hitting it first time. You got Kai Williams, Victor Perez, you got Zach Reggett, Carvalho on the court, as well as Breno. Maybe a little slip pass to the captain, Perez, for a first-time finish.
Here's Reggett over to Pereira, back to Carvalho, and he has that shot missed the mark by about 3/4 of a mile. I mean, I thought it was actually deflected. It was so far off the mark, but
the referee is calling
not.
a pick play. So foul.
So I don't have Ricardo's career goal totals, although I will look them up if I get the chance.
He's had a really strong indoor career.
Oh, yeah, he was a tremendous indoor player. I do have him from that one season in Philadelphia when he and Clay were teammates, and Clay had his only goal that year. Ricardinho had 13 goals and 22 assists, so 35 points in 17 games that year for the Kicks. Played 7 games here for the Tropics back in 2017-2018. Really miserable year for the Tropics. They had injuries and big-time injuries right from the start of the season, and they continued to pile up. And Ricardinho, the call went out for some help, and Ricardinho came in for the final 7 games of that season. You were here as well, and that was Ricardinho still had it. He had 5 points in 7 games, 2 goals and 3 assists.
Well, that's a nice part. You know, you got your 6th season here with the Tropics. You've seen the players grow into real good indoor players. You know, we're talking to Monteleras, Victor Perez, the guys that have been here a long time. You know, Anthony Arico.
Well, and that's the thing about the Sidekicks roster is Kyle Williams tries to penetrate the Dallas zone, whistle on a foul against Williams. You talk to, I'm sure Ricardinho would tell you the same thing, but Clay Roberts is pretty adamant and correct about the fact that it takes easily a good 2 or 3 years of full-time play in this game to really learn the game and understand the game and understand the nuances of the game. And when you see a guy like Bruno Henrique come in and be so good, or Luis Morales come in and be so good, that is really the exception. And
well, that's usually a result of a lot of veteran players around those rookies. It makes it a lot easier for them. There's more possession. The simplicity comes out when you're playing with veteran-type players.
And so the goal is, and you can see that it has a very good chance to come to fruition, that a lot of these young players mixed in with these veterans come together and create the kind of Sidekicks team and franchise that their legacy would reflect. Here's Enrique again with it. Checked off the ball, if you will, by Cajunte, but kept alive out to Taylor Walter Bond. Intercepted there by Quintana. Nice play by Quintana. Takes the shot well off the mark, follows his own ball, gets a rebound, and Silva is able to turn that one aside. Long outlet to Pereira. He's all alone, though, 1 against 2, and Victor will take a tumble. And the foul is called, much to the chagrin of the Sidekicks and Brendan Lee.
Well, Brendan Lee's certainly a quick player. He's got some wheels on him. Looks to be a good addition to the Sidekicks. Gets himself around the pitch defensively, offensively, moving the ball. Been somewhat impressed so far.
Carvalho with it. Over to Vandegrift. They might still try and set Chad up tonight for one.
Well, you've got to beat Clay Roberts' goal, so
yeah, right.
You've got to get one.
Well, Chad's got more than one career goal, I can assure you that. Reggett thought maybe Ricardo Carvalho was making a run there as Hugo comes almost out to the midfield line to keep possession for the Tropics. Nice little ball to Arico. Anthony's got some space and then fires it halfway to Odessa. That could be either Texas or Florida, by the way.
Yeah, that was a big miss-hit, but I think Arico is asking, well, where's the foul from behind? He feel like he got pushing it, and he did get nudged to kind of put him off balance. But great pass, no-look pass from Drew Ruggles. Slips it across his body and starts up the counter.
Here's Reggett now. He's got Carvalho with him. Reggett takes the shot. Save in there by Coy. And then Reggett and Mike Jones come together, and Mike Jones is not happy.
That was a little bit reckless.
I was just going to say, yeah, you don't want to see this game get a little chippy here. 6-2, the Sidekicks, though, were the only goal so far, the third quarter, and we're almost halfway through.
I think Arico's going to want that shift back. Sky's one a little bit upset with the referee, thinking that was a foul, and then launches one out of bounds. But he's got to keep his cool. He's had a good game so far. But a better start for the Sidekicks. The start of the third quarter, generating a few good chances.
This is reminiscent of their first part of the first half to start the game. They have created some opportunities, had some possession, and conversely haven't given up a lot of great opportunities at the other end. So, game within the game, Ricardinho is going to be pleased so far with what he's seen here in the second half, and Carvalho comes in hard.
Really surprised I haven't seen any blue cards for the Tropics yet, because there have been some clumsy challenges, and I think it's probably what Ricardinho is asking for. Is listen, how many times can we get these fouls without having a blue card issue?
Yeah, this has been a boys will be boys game. Cajunte with it, gets it over now to Mendez. Mendez will keep it alive to Quintana. There's a shot saved by Silva. And there's Carvalho again with taking a man down, and this will be a blue card. And Carvalho not going to argue this one at all.
Well, we get to see one of the better offensive power plays in the league at 64%. They got a lot of technical players.
I'll have to double check, but I would think that's the best in the MASL. 64% is
well, this is
pretty
massive,
impressive.
Brian, right now, because being down 6-2, you got a man-up situation.
We said you get a couple of goals here to start the third quarter, and could actually make things even more than just a little interesting down the stretch. So, chance here for the Sidekicks to pull within 3, and we will have our official mid-quarter media timeout. We'll step aside as well and set the stage when we get back. It's the Florida Tropics 6, the Dallas Sidekicks 2. This is Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Power play here for Dallas. Midway through the third quarter, trying to creep back in. They're within 4. Lovegrove will tee it up in front and knocked out of there, but Dallas will keep possession. Dallas does not actually have the best power play unit in the league. The Milwaukee Wave, surprisingly, despite the fact they've only won once in 6 starts, 727 percentage, 8 for 11, and Taylor Walter Bond called for an inadvertent handball.
That's unfortunate because you're already down a man. Now you're giving up a set piece situation almost at top of the arc.
Dallas bench wanted a blue card there, but that was certainly looked totally inadvertent. Lovegrove will approach, shot, and he just bangs it off the far post. All right, Lovegrove, a great finisher, and he missed literally by about 2 inches.
And he's running. Lovegrove is running the power play right now. He's at the top, running the show.
Piedra gets it back to Lovegrove. Williams intercepts briefly, so Jamie going to track it down.
This is a unit I haven't really seen. I mean, typically Rico is the one that's leading the charge at the top of the diamond for the Tropics. You've got Taylor Walter Bond doing it, and he's certainly up for the task. He's wiry, he's fast. He'll be able to get out in transition as well.
Lovegrove again with a drive from about 45 feet goes wide. He'll get it back at the yellow line. Actually going to leave it over there for Piedra. Piedra with it. Down in the corner, comes in front. And it'll be headed back to Hugo Silva. Nice play by Taylor Walter Bond there.
Yeah, and Zach Reggett takes his spot to kind of delay some time, hold it up.
Reggett going to challenge Coy in the corner there. Now comes back to Coy. He can't use his...
A double pass.
Yeah, it's a double pass back, so the Tropics will get a restart deep in the Dallas end of the field.
Well, it looks like a double pass does result in the top of the arc, so good opportunity for the Tropics with the man down situation. Good pressure, but you like what Taylor Walter Bond did. Subs off, Reggett comes on, Hugo Silva launches it, and now they've got a good situation on a dead ball.
Tropics will take a timeout. MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Wednesday now on MASL TV with our friend Alex Bastjavansky. That is MASL Primetime Wednesdays now on the MASL YouTube channel. Some other news from the league this week, which I thought was just great. The Referee of the Year award now will be named in honor of probably the most recognizable official in the history of the sport, Gino DiPolito, who is now in his 80s, I believe, still living in eastern New York. And the thing I'll say about Gino, that you know he was the best in the business. If there was a big game back in the day in the MASL, Gino DiPolito was the man on the call. Beloved referee and pillar of the indoor community. Officiated over 1,500 games in the MISL. Although his claim to fame, or one of them, was he was the official, the on-field referee for Pele's final game ever with the New York Cosmos back in Giant Stadium before almost 80,000 fans. So congratulations to Gino DiPolito and the honor bestowed upon him. Here's Reggett's shot. That one just misses the far post, and Pereiras will play it back out to Hugo Silva to kill a little clock. Silva going to play it deep in there for Reggett, and he loses control, so Zach going to have to hustle back, although was able to intercept the pass briefly there, so that'll kill a few more seconds, down to 20 seconds on the man advantage, and now Ruggles has it. Ruggles, he's got Vandergriff with him. Ruggles lays it across. Here's a shot. Goal!
Big goal. Man down goal. Got to be the first one of the season. I could be wrong, but that's the first one I've seen. Beautiful play from Ruggles. Slips it to Reggett. First time finish. You hear that a lot tonight. A lot of first time finishes, but really, really good on the man down situation.
Definitely the first shorthanded goal of the year for the Tropics. It'll belong to Zach Reggett. And we'll take a look at the replay here, Robbie, but well executed by the Tropics. They had a 3-on-2.
Yeah, Ruggles just takes it down the boards, gets his head up, outside on the left foot. Beautiful strike from Reggett, first time. And again, it all starts with the double pass going back to the goalie, the new indoor change, which we both like because it speeds things up going forward. Another great block from Kai Williams.
Number 10 on the year for Zach. Here's Kyle Williams with it. Another chance. Shot. Go!
Wow, that was fast.
And that might be a costly one because Taylor Walter Bond on the redirect looks like he hurt himself.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him, if it was a hamstring or if he collided with someone. But you love the little pirouette Maradona move from Carvalho. Plays an interesting ball off the boards to Kai Williams, who fires it home first time, bottom left corner. 2 quick goals. Carvalho's got the ball down the boards, does a little pirouette Maradona, off the boards to Kai Williams, and another first time finish.
Yeah, and he didn't really have to stretch or anything. He may have actually caught his leg in the turf, but he's up and walking. It might be like looks like he might have been holding his left calf a little, but he's jogging off under his own power, so hopefully he'll be all right. That was just a weird kind of a goal because the way he went down, you thought immediately that maybe there was something serious. The Tropics have already...
Yeah, I mean, really coming in with some confidence now.
Yep, another assist for Kyle.
That's why everyone loves the indoor game. It's so fast, exciting. There's goals in bunches at times. Sometimes it's a bit of a lull because if you get 5 guys behind the ball, it is difficult to score. But right now, you love the excitement of the game. 8-2, Tropics, 5 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, and again, how quickly the complexion changes. The Sidekicks threatening to get 2 in a row, get within 3 on the power play, and the Tropics totally turn the tables and get a shorthanded, their first of the year, and then another one quickly by Taylor Walter Bond, and it's 8-2, and all of a sudden you kind of feel again like the Tropics will have their way with Dallas here in the second half. Victor with it, gets it out to the midfield line. Some doubly good news from Baltimore, by the way, for Tropics fans that are tuned in. The Ontario Fury have taken a 5-2 lead over the Blast now. Still a dandy one going in Milwaukee between Utica and the Wave. It's 5-4 Utica in that one. And coming up a little later on, San Diego will christen the Chihuahua Savages home debut in the MASL. That's a 10 o'clock Eastern start. Of course, you can catch all the games on MASL TV on YouTube, including our finale of this weekend doubleheader Sunday at 3 o'clock when the Tropics take on the Sidekicks. If you're in the Central Florida area, come on out. Enjoy some great professional indoor soccer. You can get free general admission tickets. Just pay to park, and you'll take your parking receipt to the RP Funding Center box office and redeem that for the same number of people in your car. You'll get the same number of free general admission seats. So I know we've got a lot of fans taking advantage of that here tonight, and we hope to see you take advantage of that Sunday and all season long. You can go to fltropics.com, and under the Tropics tab, Tickets tab, just click Tropical Blitz and you'll get all the information you need. Here's Sandoval.
A lot of possession for the Tropics right now. They've got to get a line change, because what will happen is once they lose it, they're going to be exhausted, won't be able to defend properly.
They do get Ruggles and Oliveria out there on defense, and Breno does a nice job beating Oscar Romero to that loose ball. Breno, who continues his good play, gets it ahead to Kyle Williams, who's taken down hard by Morales, no whistle. Intercepted now by Ruggles. Gets it ahead to Zach Reggett. Ruggles going to try and make a run of his own. JP Reyes comes up with it. Reggett needed a line change there, so he comes off.
Longest sub in the history of indoor for JP Reyes. He's not getting off, the veteran. He's like, I'm staying on right now.
Now he's going. The legs were probably a little bit heavy there for JP. Bruno Enrique continuing to show that work ethic. Almost created an opportunity for him in front. Starting to run out of really good things to say about Bruno Enrique. Here comes Quintana with it, top of the arc. Nice little layoff pass, shot, and a goal. Speaking of the Tropics' problem here in this second half, such as it is, losing the runners, and Jamie Lovegrove makes them pay.
Kind of a play out of nothing. I mean, I felt like the Tropics had plenty of numbers behind the ball that just weren't marked up, and we'll get a replay. But
yeah, I don't know if Lovegrove came off the bench, but there was no defender on that side of the field. And
5-on-3, maybe a 5-on-4, but you know, overall it's a great finish from Lovegrove, and one of the reasons why he's a sniper type of finisher.
So, I mean, that shorthanded goal really kind of looming large as Vandegrift is set up in the box. Tries to turn, can't find anybody to give it to, and Victor Pereras will lay it to Sandoval and right back to Victor. Vandegrift will cycle back outside the yellow line now. Here's Pereras being watched by Lovegrove. Center of the field shot, go!
Just too easy from Victor Pereras. He loves going from left to right because he can kind of float left, come back to his strong foot. And again, we just gave Lovegrove some love with his nice finish. Gets beat 1v1 defensively. 9-3 Tropics.
So Victor, who came into the game as the leading goal scorer for the Tropics, as we take a look at the replay here, and yeah, it's just too easy, you're right.
Yeah, too easy. A nice assist actually from Yoshi. Plays the ball off the boards. But Victor loves that. I think it's probably his favorite go-to. He kind of floats left and he pushes it to his strong foot. But easy goal for Victor Parejas. I think the keeper's going to want that one back.
Pereras came into the game tonight with 10 goals and 7 assists, starting to creep up among the team leaders. Is the team leader, starting to creep up among the league leaders in goals and assists.
Yeah, really starting to find confidence. He's always had it, but he's really sticking that ball in the back of the net, Victor Parejas. And great time for Clay Roberts to have your captain on fire.
I mean, we can probably analyze all we want as that shot is blasted wide there by Mendez. But really, the two things for me this year that will propel this team to an 8-1 record after tonight is Victor Pereras and Hugo Silva have found a new level. I mean, they've been all-stars, have been all-stars the last 2 years, and they're better this year than they've ever been. There's a chance in front, never got through as Manoleras makes the block on Morales. Actually, that was on Felipe Silva. But, I mean, all the young talent's great, and all the veterans on this team are great, but Victor and Hugo are the guys. And they have elevated their game this year when I didn't know they had another level. And I'm sure probably Clay Roberts knew it and they knew it, but they have been the leaders, and ultimately this team will probably go as long and as far as Hugo and Victor take them, as Reggett tries to catch Chase Coy off the goal line and sends it out of play.
That's a good heads-up play from Hugo Silva. Just rockets it down the boards. Good run from Reggett. And they actually almost get a shot on target with only point. Really the end of the third quarter.
That was a last second attempt, literally, for the Tropics as time runs out on the third quarter. So we'll come back for the final 15 minutes, see how it all plays out, see who, if the Tropics can get that goal for Chad Vandergriff and others. It's the Tropics 9, Dallas 3. Back for the fourth quarter in just a moment. This is Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
Well, it wasn't a bad third quarter for the Dallas Sidekicks, but they still find themselves trailing now 9-3 as the Tropics have 3 two-goal scorers in this game, led by Victor Pereras with his 11th and 12th of the season, Ricardo Carvalho with a couple, Kyle Williams with 2. Victor and Ricardo also have assists, so they have 3-point games going. Bruno Enrique with 2 very pretty assists, and Breno Oliveria with a goal and an assist as well. Yoshio Sandoval with 2 assists, so the Tropics, as we said, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double-figure scoring here tonight with 9 goals over the first 3 quarters. For Ricardo Carvalho.
Well, now it's an opportunity at 9-3, 6-goal advantage to close this game out, take the air out of the ball a little bit, get some possession, get line changes, keep everyone fresh, thinking about Sunday as well. I know it's a little early, but you do want to go into Sunday's game healthy.
Gonzalez sends that well out of play. They're going to say it was touched, and it'll be a corner kick. Just to finish the thought there on Carvalho, those were goals 7 and 8 now in the season after he was goalless in the first 3 games of the regular season. So he has come on as expected. Corner kick restart here for Dallas.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many restarts for the Sidekicks. See what they can do here. And
well, there you go, right? They can do just that.
Lovegrove with a nice roll assist.
Yep. Told you the Sidekicks would not lay down here in the second half. That's
27. Yeah.
Ricardinho's message at the half certainly resonated with this team, and if nothing else, come out and play with some pride and play with some passion, and the Sidekicks have done that here in the third quarter.
With a nice left-footed bomb off the set piece. And again, Hugo Silva was complaining that it shouldn't have been, but Lovegrove on the ball just kind of complains about Breno being too close. And rolls it back, left-footed shot, screen. Hugo Silva couldn't really see it.
Yeah, it got through, looks like 2 or almost, looked like 2 or 3 Tropics players there near post, and somehow it found a way. There's a shot knocked away by Silva off the foot of Felipe Silva. Saved by Silva, shot by Silva. Long outlet to Ben Espinal, who's not taking a lot of shifts tonight. Takes a shot, good save there by Chase Coy. For those Dallas fans tuning in late tonight and wondering why Chase Coy is in goal, it's because Juan Gamboa was not able to make the trip tonight. He is expected to be here and start in goal on Sunday for the Sidekicks. Will certainly give them a great deal of confidence as Carvalho.
Yeah, Carvalho with a nice nutmeg.
Yeah, doing a nice job here to keep it alive. Pereira's had to head to the bench on a line change. Now Espinal tries to create an opportunity. The Tropics do keep it alive, and finally Chad Vandergrift will settle. Anthony Arrico. Have not seen Taylor Walter Bond take a shift, I don't think, since he scored that goal. We'll see if he maybe just takes the fourth quarter off and all will be well going forward on Sunday. We'll keep an eye on that here in the fourth quarter as Zach Reggett rolls it towards the top of the arc, leaves it off to Vandergrift. Reggett in the corner, being watched in there by Piedra.
Well,
Ruggles.
All players behind the ball with the Dallas Sidekicks defending well in numbers. We talked about that at halftime. What do they got to do to get better?
Vandergrift in front, go!
You said it, Brian. He was the only one missing from the score sheet, and he gets his first goal of the season. And a nice sustained possession from the Tropics, repeatedly going into the target, bumping it back out, and finally it finds its way right in the middle of the box for Vandergrift's feet, slots it underneath the keeper's legs.
That almost seemed like destiny, didn't it?
It did. And we'll get a replay with...
And he worked for it. He worked hard. Good work in the box by Chad. That was a great individual effort.
Yeah, really more individual than any real sort of great play. It was Ruggles off the boards, and it kind of bounces around a little bit. Miscue defensively from the Sidekicks. Vandergrift comes in and slots a nice goal for himself.
And the double good news for the Tropics is Walter Bond is back out on the floor for this shift, so doesn't look too much the worse for wear, which is great. So the Tropics will breathe a sigh of relief on that front as well. 10-4, good buddy. Here's a steal by Enrique, and he just misses. Boy, he's had at least, seems like a goal like that every game this year. But that's his hard work. Here's a shot. Go! I guess the leg is feeling okay.
Well, A little bit of chaos from Enrique again, stealing the ball, creating havoc. The ball lands at Walter Bond's left foot. Bomb, top left corner.
Well struck by Taylor Walter Bond. Really been impressed with him this year. You know, he went out to San Diego and kind of got lost in the sauce out there, if you will. There were a lot of games he didn't dress, and I don't know the reason. All I know is when he dressed and he played against us, he was good. And so Clay Roberts said, hey, come play with us. We'll give you the time. We'll give you the confidence. And Taylor Walter Bond has responded magnificently. That's really, I think, all he needed was a chance. And the Tropics have given it to him, and he has paid them back with his tremendous play here so far. And Clay, at the time of the signing, called Taylor Walter Bond the most underrated player in the MASL, and Taylor doing everything he can to make that statement come true.
Well, the Tropics certainly can score in bunches. You know, it's almost like they're kind of toying with their opponents a little bit. I've been seeing this week in and week out. They hit a little bit of a lull, and they're like, okay, listen, let's pull our socks up. It's time to really get after it. And they have that switch they can flip very quickly.
Well, they have flipped it here. The Sidekicks given a golden opportunity to pull within 6-3 in that third quarter with the power play and the shorthanded goal just kind of totally rewrote the script there. Not that I don't think Dallas was going to come back and win this. Don't want to be dishonest about that thought, but could have been an interesting finish, or a much more interesting finish if you're a Sidekicks fan at least, than what we will see play out here over the final 11 and a half minutes. These two teams will tangle again Sunday, 3:05 starting time, as Espinal takes a tumble. Foul called against Sebastian Mendez.
Yeah, Mendez just had that nice corner kick goal with his left foot. Again, another player that's impressed me. He's quick, he's tidy, good dribbler, he's got a lot of energy. I think it's a good prospect for Ricardinho.
Yeah, very good speed, no question there, as Manolares has to take an unfortunate bounce. I don't think we've got any more updates from that game in Baltimore or Milwaukee. I'll double check that, but if it was a perfect night for the Tropics, the Wave and the Fury would both come out of there with wins, but right now, last check, the Wave had a 1-goal lead. Fury were up by 3 at the SECU Arena. Nice work by Anthony Areno getting into the clear, then had his path cut off, and he'll play it back out to Drew Ruggles. Sends it far side to Reggett.
The ball lands perfectly off the boards into the hands of Reggett. Almost like a nice tight end catching a football there.
Got a little Rob Gronkowski build to him.
Does, you're right. Certainly could pass for it.
Not quite the height,
No.
but yeah. Ruggles will double team in there with Kyle Williams and comes out of there with it now. 3-on-1 for the Tropics.
Wow,
Williams,
look at Ruggles go.
Yeah, Drew with it. Nice
Beautiful
ball.
play.
Yeah, that's a pretty goal right there. That was very, very pretty, and up 7, and Drew Ruggles selling out.
You know, and Ruggles, he's very deceptive. He doesn't look overly quick, but man, he took off there to create a 3v2 for Kai Williams and creates the open net for Arico, which, and again, I'm calling Arico's name quite a bit. He's getting a lot of back post tap-ins because of the energy that he has and the speed, and he gets himself into good positions. But really, that play is all Ruggles coming from behind in a long run. You can see Kai Williams taking off down the middle, and Ruggles just catches him. 3v2, back post tap-in, textbook indoor goal.
Yeah, I mean, Drew just threw it into 5th gear there. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside as well. Just over 10 minutes to go. It's the Tropics 12 and Dallas 4. You're watching Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast.
Back here in Lakeland, 12-4 Tropics as Chase Coy has a debut in goal for the Dallas Sidekicks to forget. Not that I'm sure he thought it would be easy, but when you go up against an offensive juggernaut like the Tropics, it's all the more difficult.
Top of the box now. Again, another top of the box. Something they've got to figure out. They can't be giving the Tropics such easy opportunities on these dead ball situations.
And the Tropics will welcome the chance to practice another restart chance. Hasn't been their forte all year, but it's been getting better. Here's Williams over the ball. Now Carvalho leaves it to Oliveria, and his shot is not getting through. If I was going to tell Chase Coy a story, I would tell him one of going all the way back to 1979 when I was covering the Buffalo Stallions in the old MASL, and saw there's a long ball as the Sidekicks try and catch Silva off the line. Saw a young man that nobody knew play in his first ever indoor game in goal. His name was Scott Manning, and he went on to become one of the best goalkeepers ever in the MISL, helping the Baltimore Blast to multiple championships. I remember talking to Scott after that game as a newspaper reporter. He was in the old auditorium in Buffalo locker rooms, which were basically literally like cement bunkers. And he was literally just drenched in sweat, slumped up against his locker, literally so worn out he could barely speak. And he just couldn't believe what he had just gone through as a goalie in indoor soccer. And the Stallions won that game 10-9 over what remains to this day my favorite ever nickname in indoor soccer, the Hartford Hellions.
Yes, I like it too. I like it.
And so...
Well, again, you're right. And it's only one game. Certainly the Tropics have played well tonight. And I think the Sidekicks have at times left their keeper out on an island. But there are good things to come from the rookie. I think he's shown some good things. He's quick, not a bad distributor. It's only one game. And the Tropics are difficult to beat for any top keeper regardless.
Enrique with a save, rebound, goal. Bruno keeps his hard work going, and 13 now on the game for Florida. That's a season high.
They really put up some numbers quickly, the Tropics. They got so many offensive type-minded players. And Bruno Enrique with another good goal from the youngster. He's got a couple of great assists. Now he's got himself a goal. 13 on the night, so it's a phenomenal offensive performance. But looking at the replay, a Sidekicks giveaway. Taylor Walter Bond plays it in the path and rebound, goal.
This is a really good save by Chase Coy. We said he's made some good saves in this game, but difficult to control the rebound, and Bruno just working hard like he does is cruising there for the rebound, knocks it in, and it's a baker's dozen now for Florida. And off the top of my head, I believe the team record for goals in a game is 17 that they scored a couple of years ago against the Lancers up in Rochester. Knocked away by Coy there, or Ricardo Carvalho would have had the hat trick.
And Ruggles wants that one back. That just kind of came off the boards perfectly for him to tee up on the one bounce volley.
Yeah, the shooter's eyes get real big when they see a ball like that.
Well, right now everything's flowing in the right direction for the Tropics. The Sidekicks, okay, you're down 13-4. You've got a game Sunday. You'll have your starting keeper back. It's about just trying to get through this game in one piece. But if you're Tropics, we talked about the tiebreaker. It's goals, goal differential, goals for. So I think they're not going to let up.
No, that's clear. And Zarico gets it ahead of the field to Espinal. Espinal's shot just hits the outside of the post. Rebound by Carvalho with the left foot and couldn't quite get it through. But that's exactly right, Robbie. We were talking about that in the Harrisburg game, that you hate to feel like you're the team that's running up the score and not respecting the opponent, although, as I said then, and I'll say again now, my answer to that always is just play better. And I'm not going to ask my opponent ever to play any less hard because my effort or my result isn't what I want it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're all professionals. Everyone's paid here to win ball games, and the Tropics certainly aren't going to take the foot off the pedal. But it's another, probably the fifth top of the box situation for the Tropics.
Yeah, at least. Carvalho will lay it off to Pereiras with the extra roll that time, but still blocked. Now into Williams, tried to do a little header give and go with Carvalho. Picked up by Oliveria. He fires it well wide. Shot by Reggett just over the crossbar. Now Kyle Williams with a pretty play to Pereiras, who misses it. Victor had as good a chance as he'll get, and somehow he wasn't able to convert. Silva comes way out and sends it up 3/4 of the way to Wright's corners.
Yeah, that's great unselfish play from Kai Williams, because I thought he was going to shoot it. Elects to play to the captain, Victor, and I think Victor's going to want that one back, but good unselfish play from Kai Williams.
And Clay and I were actually talking this week a little bit about that tiebreaker scenario. The fact is, I think it's the fourth tiebreaker, which doesn't seem like it's probably going to come into play until you consider the top three, which is like regulation wins, so it's not inconceivable to see that as being a category that would be tied, that you'd move on to the next level. One of them ahead total goals is head-to-head. And the Tropics, there's two teams in the league, they don't even play this year. One of them is Kansas City, which is very likely going to be the team that the Tropics will battle for the overall number one seed. So it makes some sense, even though it makes for some lopsided scores and perhaps some not so pretty outcomes. But I can't really blame the Tropics for looking that far ahead and realizing that it's not at all inconceivable that goals scored could be a very deciding factor. Kyle Williams has got Enrico with him. Now over to Anthony with a shot. Goal!
Wow, JP Reyes, the veteran.
No, it's JP.
I love it.
Sorry, 23, not 22.
JP Reyes, everyone's excited for him. He's such a good character in the locker room. He's always encouraging players, so you love to see him get on the score sheet. You can see the Tropics celebrating off the boards, with one of the college teams here celebrating. And
now I do believe that JP had an assist earlier this year, so I don't think he, like Chad, was an official bagels across the board. Yeah, I think
certainly a first goal for him.
First goal, that's for sure.
And that's actually a really nice, tidy finish in the bottom right corner. But this is all Kyle Williams. It's a solo run. He's going on his own, slips the ball to his left, and JP Reyes actually takes a nice touch and slots it bottom right corner. Great finish from one of their veteran defenders.
So 8 players now for the Tropics in double figures in scoring. Bruno Enrique leads that with a goal and 3 assists. Pereiras with 2, Ricardo Carvalho with 2, but they also have assists for 3-point games. Drew Ruggles, no goals but 3 assists, as we've got a little discussion going on out here at the midfield circle.
I'm not exactly sure. We weren't able to see what happened. Maybe bumped heads, or Ortiz is down holding his head.
Yeah, I didn't see that either, but I think he and Bruno maybe hit a shoulder and a head the way Bruno's talking, but I think everything's good and everyone's okay. So just to finish the offensive onslaught, Taylor Walter Bond with a goal and an assist, Kyle Williams with 2 goals, Oliveria with a goal and an assist, Sandoval with 2 assists. Those are the 8 players that are in multi-point games here tonight.
Yeah, certainly fantastic if you're a Tropics fan. And the Sidekicks watching at home, I mean, they've got another opportunity Sunday. I mean, I think it was a tough go for the Sidekicks on a Friday night, and I'm sure they'll respond accordingly Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I think Kevin Gamboa back, who's very entertaining to watch, very athletic, very quick on the line. He's just very entertaining, a veteran of the game, and I'm sure nobody feels worse about the fact he couldn't be here tonight than Juan. So, again, for Dallas fans, Gamboa should be back on the pitch here Sunday, and that will be a very big equalizer. Not saying certainly the Tropics won't be favored, I'm sure, but Gamboa is the kind of guy that he gets hot in the game and he can steal one for you, no question. Shot off the boards in front, Enrique looking for his 5th point as Walter Bond takes a tumble again. That's Enrico on the far sideline stealing it. Turf came up there momentarily, comes into Bruno. Back to Vandergriff, into Enrique again, being watched in there by Jones.
When you talk about the record, was it 17 goals?
I'm pretty certain, yeah.
That's certainly not far away. They're only 3 shy of it, and the way they're playing, certainly a possibility to tie that record tonight.
Carvalho back to Ruggles. Ruggles takes the long shot. That was ticketed for the far post before it hit a leg in front of Coy. Yeah, I'll see if I can double check that record, but I'm pretty certain that's. I'm getting old, but the memory bank's still trying to work. There's a shot. Oh, there's a great save by Coy. Maybe his best of the night off the foot of Monaleros.
Yeah, they're certainly going to get some chances in the last 4 minutes of this game. Now to score 3 would, I think, be a little bit difficult, but everything's clicking on all cylinders for the Tropics.
Yeah, no dispute from anyone on the Dallas sideline tonight about that. Chase into the corner. Quintana sends it around the boards. Silva not able to control.
Quintana, he's been impressive for me. I think obviously the score line doesn't show that really any Sidekicks players have really done enough, but the captain's done well for me. He's worked hard. He looks to be a good target defender.
Espinal works in there as the Tropics keep it alive.
A little bit of a football tackle. 2 hands to the face. I just talked about the captain.
Yeah, right.
Having at least a decent outing. Obviously, he's going to want that one back, but another opportunity for the Tropics to show what they can do on the man-up situation.
We jinxed Hugo in the first half, so we were due to.
Might as well keep it up.
Yeah, we were due to jinx somebody on the Dallas sideline. Yeah, did look it up here, and thanks again to Chris Arnold, who has done a fantastic job putting together the Tropics record book. So 17 is the high water mark in Rochester. A couple weeks after that, the Tropics put up 16 against Orlando. So those are the 2 high water marks for the Tropics in goals. They could add number 15 here on the power play potentially, but Coy comes out to
the
smother
Tropics
that.
like that. They like when Reggett floats out wide, plays it down low to Ricardo. He runs through, and then Victor Perez comes around on a loop. Actually, Dallas Sidekicks read that fairly well.
Here's Kyle Williams with it. Oliveria gets it back to Williams. Down to Breno.
Very stretched out, the Tropics. They're basically playing with all 5 players in an arc, and then Ricardo Carvalho down low with Breno as well.
Ricardo with it now. Back out to Pereiras. Over to Kyle Williams, top of the arc. Williams thought about teeing it up and then didn't. Pereiras has it knocked over the sideboards by the Sidekicks, so it'll be a restart here for Florida with 1:09 to go in the power play. Here's Carvalho. Carvalho takes a shot, blocked in there by Silva. Here's Oliveria, didn't quite get enough of the foot on that one. 14 would be 3rd most goals in Tropics history. They've done it twice. They did it against Rochester, and they did it against the St. Louis Ambush. And that was here at the RP Funding Center, as was the 16 against Orlando. Reggett takes a swing in front, and no foul called. Ball took just a little bit of a higher bounce, perhaps, than Zach was expecting. I think Hugo might be itching to get into the action a little bit as well. But
yeah, why not a 6-4?
He's already got a goal this year. Here's Oliveria, shot. He needed to do a one-timer there instead of trying to tee it up.
That was a great block, nonetheless, from Gonzalez.
Oliveria with it. Down low to Reggett on the carom. Oliveria fires. Never got through. Breno gets the rebound. Down to 1 second on the penalty, and now Quintana out of the box, so Dallas kills off the man advantage.
Good job from the Sidekicks, but now they're caught on right now, so it's very difficult. 60 seconds to go. They've got their man-down unit that's not going to be able to get off. Tired legs, fresh legs from the Tropics.
Tropics bench is towards their end of the offensive field here. And a bobble, and this will give Dallas a chance, hopefully, to get some new troops out there. Although the Tropics still with pressure. Rico going to challenge. Going to be taken away by Reggett. Zach with it. Shot, goal!
That's all from Rico, putting pressure on the Dallas Sidekicks defender. It finds its way into Reggett's feet and just blasts it home.
Yeah, that was just a bomb. So Reggett with his second of the game. Take a look at the work here by Anthony Arrico, though, because, as you said, he's the one that created the chance.
Yeah, another nice steal. Comes off the boards to Reggett and really just hits it first time. Doesn't even need to control it. Comes off the boards perfectly for him. And just too much power for the Dallas Sidekicks rookie.
So, Reggett becomes the 9th player to have a multi-point game now. At least the 9th. I don't think we have a record for that in the record book, even though it's 150 pages long, and I kid you not. But I'll have to ask Chris after the game, because he might know.
Just such a great offensive performance. Tough blue card for Taylor Walter Bond. Gets his foot up a little bit too high.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
But 15 on the night is just very, very impressive. Been on fire at home as of late. Really, when you give up that many goals, you know, Rick Cardino's got to look at the game plan. What are you going to look to do and employ on Sunday? What's the tactics that go behind the game? Because ultimately, if you get stretched, the Tropics have proven time and time again that are able to create 3v2s, 2v1s, 4v3s, numbers up consistently. A yellow card?
Yeah, I think maybe the Taylor Walter Bond for taking a little much too time to get to the box. In fact,
looking like, you know, I've
Taylor
seen that
going to
before.
head right to the locker room.
I'm just going to make my way back in the locker room for some pizza.
Yeah, well, only 57 seconds left, so the Tropics will have to send somebody to actually take up the physical space in the box, and that noted goal scorer, J.P. Reyes, will.
Oh, he's a team player, Reyes. Yeah, looking.
Will do the honors. Well,
J.P. Reyes, a crowd favorite, always hugging babies.
Not so much in the COVID era, but yeah, he's another Tropics original. 5 in all on this team. Monaleris, Pereiras, Reyes, George Navarrete, believe it or not. And I'm missing somebody, and Anthony Arrico is the other one. Those are the 5 original Tropics still on the Florida roster here in 2021-22. Shot from distance, blocked by Vandegrift. Nice ball to Piedra. Nice play by Zach Reggett. So the Tropics still selling out defensively as well, which Clay Roberts will appreciate.
Yeah, and again, I'm always a big fan of target forwards that like to defend and tackle, and I think really one of the main reasons why teams win championships is when their target forward defends. And Clay Roberts has got a couple of really good ones with Reggett and Enrique. They love defending.
Andrew Hoxie not dressed tonight. Another very good target forward who really looked very, very good in his second game, or much better than his first. He literally had not played a game in like 2 years, and then kind of retweaked the hamstring. So sitting out again this weekend, but he's going to come at some point and pay some big dividends as a target forward as well. And that's it. It's over here at the RP Funding Center. Anticlimactic, to be sure, but entertaining for the crowd here tonight in Lakeland as the Tropics put up a 15 spot and win it 15-4. We'll do it all again Sunday at 3. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll take a final break and be back on Soccer Night Florida with the Florida Tropics.
We believe everyone can compete in the arena. Make the play, and score the winning goal. Because the heart of a champion lives in all of us.
Okay, so I locked my keys in my car. It could happen to anybody. Anyway, this guy shows up with this piece of metal to unlock my car. Does that thing work, I asked? Like a charm, he says. What happened next? I don't like to remember. You wouldn't believe what he did to my car.
Should have called Papa Lock. Papa Lock's friendly professionals will have your door open fast and at a price that'll make you smile. Next time, call Papa Lock.
We are the Bond Clinic.
We are your medical services.
Comprehensive, personalized, state-of-the-art healthcare designed to serve you and your family.
We are community.
For over 70 years, the Bond Clinic physicians and our team of specialists deliver expert treatments and outstanding care. With over 90 providers, from pediatrics to diabetic care, lab services to sports medicine, we put your health first. Healthcare excellence in our community. The Bond Clinic.
2 years after I went.
Back here at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, it's all over, and not that this one was ever in much doubt. Tropics building a 6-1 lead at intermission and roll to a 15-4 final. In fact, we were just looking at the final stat sheet, and every single player that dressed for the Tropics tonight, save for Hugo Silva, the goaltender, and Ben Espinal, had at least 1 point in the game. 9 different Tropics players had multi-point games. Bruno Enrique heading that list with a goal and 4 assists. You kind of run out of superlatives at some point. I mean, Dallas was a little shorthanded, to be sure, by not having Juan Gamboa here, but I think if you talk to the Tropics and Clay Roberts, they still went out and did what they wanted to do tonight, and for them, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, they were in control of the game really from the start. I think Dallas started, the first 4 or 5 minutes of the first quarter, we felt like, wow, okay, they're into this game. But once the Tropics put their foot on the gas, they never let up, and it was a very impressive offensive performance on the night.
Well, we'll take a look at the goals, and there are a lot of them, and we won't give you an individual blow-by-blow. We'll just tell you that Bruno Enrique was actually the leading scorer. He's got the ball right there didn't actually even get an assist on that play and did all the hard work, but Bruno with a goal and 3 assists for a 4-point game. Victor Pereiras, Ricardo Carvalho, and Kyle Williams all with 3-point games as Victor bombs one in. They all had 2 goals and an assist. Drew Ruggles, no goals tonight, but 3 assists for a 3-point game. So the Tropics had 5 players with at least 3 points or more in the game. And then Zach Reggett with 2 goals for 2 points on the night. Taylor Walter Bond, a goal and an assist. Same for Breno Oliveira. And Yoshio Sandoval had a couple of assists. So 9 players altogether with at least 2 points in the game. And as we said, everybody other than Hugo, and I don't think Hugo got an assist. I'm going to double check that. He had some outlets in the game, but no, did not have an assist in the night. And Ben Espinal, the only other player to not join the party for the Tropics in some limited playing time. But nonetheless, a very impressive effort for the Tropics here this evening, and they'll try and do it again on Sunday afternoon. That's the next time we will be talking to you from the RP Funding Center, as these two teams will tee it up again. The Tropics improved to 8-1 on the season, and they will stretch their lead, I expect, over Baltimore, who is in second place in the division, but we're losing in the fourth quarter to Ontario fairly big tonight. So if the Tropics, of course, they moved to 8-1. If Baltimore should lose, they would fall to 4-3. And at the moment, they are the closest pursuers of the Tropics in the East. Dallas, meanwhile, will fall to an even 5-5, but that's still pretty impressive after getting out of the gates 0-3 and bringing in a new coach. They will look to regroup on Sunday. 5-5 is still good for second place, at least for the time being, in the MASL Central Division. So not a night to remember, at least the final score for Chase Coy, but someday hopefully he'll look back on this with a lot of fondness and appreciate the fact that he was up against one of the best teams in the league, Robbie, and sometimes that's just the way the cards are dealt.
No, I agree. I think it was a great offensive performance from the Tropics. Difficult for Coy, being a rookie his first game and really just firing all cylinders for the Tropics. Difficult night for the Dallas Sidekicks for sure.
And even J.P. Reyes, the stay-at-home defender, gets a goal. Chad Vandergriff, who, when I say he almost never scores, he's more prolific than Clay Roberts as a goal scorer, but only barely. And Chad gets his first of the season tonight. He was had not had an assist either, so his first point of the season now in the 9th game for the Tropics, but that's just kind of how it went. So the final, once again, the Florida Tropics 15 and the Dallas Sidekicks 4. As we said, we'll do it all again on Sunday. My thanks to the guys from GT Sports for all their great work and getting us back on the air after getting knocked off at halftime with a little power issue. We appreciate their hard work. We always appreciate Robbie Aristodamo and his insights. And as we said, we'll do it all again on Sunday. If you're a Tropics fan, we'll hope for the same result. If you're a Sidekicks fan, hold the fort and have some faith because your starting goaltender, Juan Gamboa, is expected to be back on Sunday. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody.